Downtown, Petco Park, a new beginning, let's go. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Baby said she wanna go to the game. Taught her how to say Padres gang. Started back rocking the brown. Ever since we've been knocking them down. Mitchell and Ness with the old school name. All of the homies holler Padre gang. Yeah, that.
Everybody, welcome to the August 6th Talking Friars pregame show. Padres and the Dodgers later tonight, a little after 6 o'clock at Dodger Stadium. Obviously, last night sucked. 8-1 the Padres lost, but today's a new day, right? Clev's on the mound. He's been pitching really, really good as of late. He's a better pitcher right now than Shamanaya is. And Manny's back at third base. Brandon Drury is DHing. Will is in center. I think the Padres have a better chance of winning today. Will being in center is definitely a weird thing. I think I saw Semi Levitt on Twitter say that this was the first time Will has played center field, or he's going to play center field since September of 2019. It's been a long time. I'll be interested to see how he does there. I thought that they would put Soto in center because he did play there with the Nationals, and I think he's played there even this season with the Nationals. So I'm a little surprised by that. But hey, Will, you saw how happy he was playing first base and how involved he was playing first base. Maybe they want to put him in the center of the outfield. So maybe he thinks he's more involved and maybe he just is more engaged that way. I don't know. But it'll be interesting to see. And then Fernando Tatis Jr., he is rehabbing. He just took batting practice, and the Missions were broadcasting that live, I think, on their Facebook and Instagram. So I have a video up on the Twitter and on the Instagram of Tatis. He was hitting some pretty good bombs. He's definitely swinging 100%. It looked like a lot of the swings, he had two hands on the bat, so that was good. But yeah, that's exciting. A lot of things are exciting about this team. I don't want last night's loss to make everyone feel like, oh man, we have no chance this year. Like, last night was not like a true measuring stick game, if that makes sense. I don't think, for the Padres in terms of like their chances against the Dodgers. Shamanaya, he would not be pitching in a playoff best of 3 series for the Padres, right? Manny Machado in the playoffs, he's going to be playing third base every day. They wouldn't be having Brandon Drury play third base, right? Fernando Tatis Jr., hopefully he's going to be healthy and he'll be playing shortstop instead of Ha-Sung Kim, right? So the lineup will be better than it was last night, and you'll be having Darvish or Clev or Musgrove pitching in those playoff games, I would think, at least right now, over Manaea. Snell even over Manaea. Everyone over Manaea. You won't have Steven Wilson. He pitched pretty good yesterday, but you wouldn't be having, at least from what I remember, but you won't be having him pitch in those big situations, right? And hopefully you don't have a absolutely trash umpire behind the plate like it was last night with I'm already blanking on that guy's name. He has an umpiring school. I shouldn't be blanking on it because of how terrible he was. Hang on, let me find it. Hunter Wendelstadt. Yeah, he was absolute garbage last night. Absolute garbage. So he's not going to be behind the plate tonight, so that's good. And then Clev is on the mound, like I talked about. Andrew Heaney is on the mound for the Dodgers. 6:10's the first pitch. Bally Sports San Diego, 97.3 The Fan. Tomorrow night's game, by the way, is on ESPN, Sunday Night Baseball. The Dodgers are 73-33, 40 games over 500 entering tonight. The Padres are 61-48. If you guys missed it, the Breaking Tea, AJ Preller is a legend. Those shirts, that partnership that I have with Breaking Tea, those shirts are out now. You can visit breakingtea.com/talkingfriars if you want to purchase that. Tatis, like I mentioned, he's in Double-A tonight. That game, I think, starts a little bit after 5 o'clock Pacific time. And he will be DHing, leading off. As for getting back to tonight, Robert Suarez, he was activated today. Steven Wilson was sent down, so that's another arm that'll be available for the Padres out of the bullpen. He's been rested. I think it's been like 3 days since he's pitched in a game. I think he pitched one game in El Paso, if I remember correctly. So the bullpen, Hader, they all have rest because yesterday was obviously a blowout. So they're all good to go. And then for Clev, last 3 starts, he's combined to allow only 4 runs. Pretty good. 6 innings, 1 run on July 17th, 7 innings, 2 runs on July 26th, 7 innings, 1 run his last start, August 1st against the Rockies during that 5-game series at home. He's going to go over 90 pitches. At least that's what he's done each of his last 3 starts. He's thrown a lot of strikes, which is really good to see, obviously. It looks like he's working at a good pace, and he's not walking a ton of guys. He didn't walk anyone this last start, walked only 1 guy the start before that, and the start before that, he only walked 2. So he's not walking guys. He hasn't walked more than 3 guys in any start this year, and that was his first start where he walked 3 guys way back May 4th, because he started the year on the IL, remember, with the knee issue, where he went 4 2/3, 3 runs against Cleveland. If I remember correctly, that was the first of the doubleheader, and that wasn't the best weather conditions. But I like what I'm seeing out of Clev. So this is a good pitching matchup. I think the Padres have the better guy out there. Not saying Andrew Heaney's not good, but I think Clev can give more length than Andrew Heaney would for the Dodgers. The Dodgers, their starter today, he went 4 innings, gave up 1 run in his last time out, August 1st against the Giants in San Francisco. He has not gone more than 6 innings in any start this year. He's only according to his game log, he's appeared in 5 games this year. Across starting April 12th and April 17th, June 19th, July 27th, August 1st. So he's had some time off. Maybe that's to his benefit. Last time out, only 74 pitches, so it looks like they're just trying to build him up. Because it's not like he was bad last time out. He struck out 7, didn't give up that many hits. So maybe he goes 80 pitches tonight, 80, 90 pitches, and hopefully the Padres can get to him early like they did with Gonsolin yesterday and just actually score runs off of him, right? First inning last night against Gonsolin, 30 pitches, didn't score any runs. Trent Grisham was up 3-0 in a count, and then he struck out looking. Little stuff like that. Manny doubled, and then I think Josh Bell got out in one of the innings. You got to come through there if you want to beat the Dodgers, obviously. That's you don't need me to say that. You don't need me to tell you that. My Padre pick last night was Juan Soto. He hit an absolute bullet pretty much at Gonsolin's head last night, almost hit him. So that was correct. So I am 64-39, I believe, or 65-39, I think, for my Padre pick this year. Today I'm going to go with Brandon Drury. I think he's going to redeem himself. Last night he sucked, at least at third base. He made the bad throwing error, and then he tried to backhand a ball that was hit right at him. Manny, thank goodness he's back playing third base today. I said this on the reaction last night after the game. I didn't understand why Manny was DHing yesterday. I know they want to get him off his feet, and because of the depth, they think that they can give Manny more of those half-off days. But when you're playing the Dodgers, you need your best defensive team out there. Why didn't you rest him on Wednesday when you were playing the Rockies, So I disagreed with that, but I'm glad that he's back out there today. The lineup tonight for the Padres, some changes. Will's in center, obviously. He's batting 7th. Alfaro's not in there. Nola is catching Clev. But here it goes. So Profar's leading off. He's in left field. Soto's in right. Man, it feels so good when I'm reading off these lineups every day to say Soto and Bell. Manny, and then we're going to be saying Tati soon. Manny is batting at third base. Bell's at first. Drury's DHing. Crony's hitting 6th. Remember, he was an all-star this year, and he's hitting 6th. That just shows how much depth is in this lineup. Myers hitting 7th in center. Kim is at short, batting 8th, and then Nola's batting 9th. I personally would probably put Kim batting 9th instead of Nola, but maybe they're more confident in Nola having more contact and being more of a second leadoff guy before Profar. Don't have too many issues at all, really at all with this lineup. I'm fine with Myers playing over Grisham. You don't want Myers to be sitting on the bench every day because he is a better power threat, I think, than Grisham. I know he has 1 home run this year, but he did miss 2 months. I'm just obviously curious of how he's going to play in center field. He's played really well at first, but center is, a different animal. So we'll see how he does, but not really any complaints with this lineup. And then I'll probably be keeping you updated on the Talking Friars Twitter account about Tatis and how he's doing with his rehab. Last time I checked, the Dodgers lineup has not been out yet, but we already talked about Andrew Heaney. He has a .77 ERA this year, but again, it's through 5 appearances, and it's not like they were like consistent starts. Andrew Heaney, Mazara has the biggest track record against him. He has 14 at bats, but he's not in the lineup tonight. He's hitting .357 off of him. Manny's hitting .273 and 11 at bats. Profar's hitting .313 and 16 at bats, but I'm pretty sure that was most of the time when Profar was with the A's and Rangers, and Heaney was with the Angels. So different teams. Maybe Heaney's gotten better. Seems like the Dodgers just grab pitchers out of their butt, and all of a sudden they start performing. So it's probably going to be a different Heaney tonight. I appreciate this, Evan, with the super chat. Appreciate your grind, Ben. Keep bringing us the heat. Thank you. If you want to support the channel, you can do exactly what Evan did. Use that super chat button. There's also the super thanks button during regular videos. Even if you don't want to support like financially, you're supporting being on this stream with me or watching on replay or whatever, or listening to the podcast and following on the social media. So I appreciate that. I'm just a Padre fan, diehard Padre fan that loves talking baseball with other Padres fans. Okay, let's get through some comments here. I already just making sure I went through everything I needed to get through. Bullpen, lineups. Dodgers isn't out yet, I don't think. Somewhat to watch for Soto at Dodger Stadium, like I said yesterday. Measuring stick series, kind of. I think today's more of a measuring stick game than last night was. Like I mentioned before, earlier today, or earlier in this stream, with Clev pitching, he would be pitching in a playoff series, I think, for the Padres right now if it was a best of 3. And Manaea wouldn't be. He pitched yesterday. The umpire's not going to be as bad today, I would hope. Manny's back at third base. So I think they have a better chance of winning today. All right. So JD's third here asked, do we undervalue the Dodgers because of the new additions to the team? They are number 1 starter ERA and run differential on offense. That's with all their injuries. I don't think we undervalue them. I think that Padre fans, like myself, were excited about these additions. And we know when Tatis comes back, that gap between the Padres and Dodgers will be smaller even more than what it is now. I think we're just waiting to see more of a closer contested game to see actually if the Padres can hang with the Dodgers. And Juan Soto is the best hitter arguably in baseball. So you can't say that the Padres didn't lessen that gap between them and the Dodgers, at the trade deadline. They got Josh Hader. I'd rather have him than Craig Kimbrell, The Padres rotation, I'd probably still take that. Go head-to-head against the Dodgers. I don't know if I'd take it over the Dodgers, like 1 through 5, because Manaea has really struggled as of late. I haven't, totally dug full in on the Dodgers rotation. I know Kershaw's hurt. I think Buehler might be hurt as well. So maybe I would take the Padres just in terms of health. I don't think we're undervaluing. Look, the Dodgers are the better team. Yeah, they are. I think that on paper, like I said a couple days ago, you can make the argument the Padres lineup is better on paper compared to the Dodgers. But the game isn't played on paper. It is played on the field. So we just got to see if the Padres can win some games and win these next 2 games to win the series, I don't think, though, to answer that question, I don't think we're undervaluing the Dodgers. I think we're just really, really excited about the new additions to our team. Mills here says, Padres were tired. Think about everything that's happened in the last 72 hours. It's been a long, stressful couple of days. Once they calm down, I think they'll be fine. Yeah, but what about on Wednesday when they scored 9 runs, And yesterday, I just think nothing went their way. I said it on the reaction after the game. Nothing went their way. The umpire was crap. Manny wasn't playing third. Manaea is their worst starter right now. Things just didn't go their way. Like, you could say they're tired, and some of them probably are, but they're not going to use that as an excuse. That's not a valid excuse, Brisk here asked, who would you want to start the wild card game when the time comes? Probably Musgrove. I'd go Musgrove, Darvish, Clevenger, I would think. I'm trying to win those first 2 games. I'm not, I know the Cardinals in 2020, they saved Flaherty for game 3. The Padres still won with Stammen on the mound. Um, I'm still going to put Musgrove, Darvish 1-2. And Clev, the way he's pitching, that's a pretty darn good game 3 guy, I don't know who the Braves we would be playing in Atlanta. Who would they go with? I'm not too I don't watch the Braves every day. I'm trying to watch them more often because I know that's the team we have to get past. But for them, let's look here. 2022 Braves. So their top 3 would probably be Fried, Wright, and Morton. Or Strider. No, Strider probably, huh? Would it be Wright? Max Fried has a star next to him. Does that mean he's hurt? Oh, no, he's a lefty. Okay. Yeah, it would probably be for me. They'd go Fried, Kyle Wright, and Strider. Those probably look like the 3. I'm just looking at like ERA and stuff. So that would be a very competitive series. That's how I would line up. Okay, Johnny. Yeah, Heaney's been on the IL 2 different times. Okay. Still, it's only 5 appearances this year. Ian says Soto was due tonight. He hated hearing those boos. I think he liked it. He smiled. He smiled hearing those boos. He hit a bullet that almost hit Tony Gonsolin right in the head yesterday. I thought he played pretty good. Ram Soto homer tonight? I hope so. That would be great. His first home run in a Padre uniform at Dodger Stadium. Hopefully it would like give him the lead in like the 8th inning or something. Yeah. That would be cool. Good afternoon, Manny. What's up? Yeah, Johnny here. Hater's ERA is similar to Kimbrel. I was talking about how I'd rather have Hater over Kimbrel earlier. But Hater, you got to look at the game logs. Like Hater, he was dominant, like the best reliever in baseball the first like 2 months of the year, I think. He didn't give up a run until like the 2nd month of the season. These last few games, he hasn't been great before he was traded, but then he pitched good against the Rockies as a Padre in his first game in the brown and gold. So I want to go off of the positive track record. He's already won 3 reliever of the year awards, 4-time All-Star. I think he's a 4-time All-Star. So I'm going to go with that over, his ERA. Like, yeah, he's had some bad appearances, but I liked what I saw out of him against the Rockies. I know that's not the Dodgers, but I would think Hader would pitch today, so we'll get to see how he does. Thanks for the super chat, JD's third. No more excuses. Hold everyone accountable. Yeah, I held Bowmel accountable a little bit last night, saying why was Manny. I didn't like the decision to have Manny DH and not be at third. And then the lineup, yeah, it needed to come through better than last night. Than it did last night. It didn't really even come through last night. You get my point. Like, I totally agree. No more excuses. You have one of the best teams in baseball. And then especially when you get Fernando back, there's definitely no more excuses. Like, you have this team, it's like an all-star team that the Padres have. You got to hold everyone accountable. I agree. Matthew, thank you for the super chat. Last night was so whack. How do we respond? By going out there and winning. I know Manny loves to say this is like his favorite phrase in the clubhouse when, Kevin Acee and reporters are asking him about, oh, how do you turn things around or how do you win more games? And Manny's like, we got to play better, win more baseball games. That's what it's about. Like, he loves saying that, and that's the answer to this. How do we respond? Go out there and win baseball games. The starting pitching got to pitch better than it has the last 2 games. Got to pitch better than what Musgrove did on Wednesday. He'll say that. Got to pitch, or was it Thursday? Thursday, because it was a 5-game series. Dang, that series felt like it took 5 years to complete. Musgrove's got to pitch better than he did on Thursday. Manaea has to pitch better than he did yesterday, right? Even if we have this deeper lineup with one of the best hitters of all time probably in it with Soto, like, the pitching still has to be there. It doesn't matter how many runs you score. You could put up 4 or 5 runs every night. Well, what if the pitching sucks? you're not going to win as many games. So you just got to play better all around. And the umpires should probably get some glasses too. Here, Ram, yeah, you say Melvin needs to take pitchers out sooner, Mania mainly. I mean, I understand that, but you got to realize that it's also a 3-game series with the Dodgers, and you don't know what's going to come on Saturday and Sunday. I'm talking about if you're Melvin on Friday, and you know you're down. It was 8-0 in the third inning. You're going to pull them in the second inning or the third inning when it is 8-0. You know you're going to lose the game. You got to get something out of him, you know. And they saved the bullpen a little bit as well at the end, throwing Matthew Batten out there. So, you know, yeah, us fans, yeah, pull him, get him out of the game. But you also got to look at it if you're in Bob Melvin's shoes. Well, we got to get something out of him. Yes, I know you want to try to win every game, but when it's 8-0 in the third inning, you're not going to win that game. So you got to try to just get some length out of him so you can save some arms for today. And by the way, if you're just coming in here, Robert Suarez has been called up. Steven Wilson was sent down. He pitched, like 30 pitches last night? So it's not surprising he was the one to be sent down. And then Suarez will be available tonight. He has not pitched. Let me check. He hasn't pitched, I don't think, since like Wednesday. Suarez. He hasn't pitched since Wednesday. Yeah, August 3rd. He threw 28 pitches in El Paso, or for El Paso. So Hader hasn't thrown since Tuesday. Garcia hasn't thrown in forever. Martinez has had a day off. Hill's had a couple days. Chris Matt's had a couple days. Suarez had a couple days. Baez has had 3 days rest. So, yeah, pretty much the entire bullpen is ready to go. Morahone only threw 10 pitches yesterday. Maybe he goes back-to-back days today. Who knows? But the bullpen it's in a good spot today. Matthew asks, am I related to Will Myers? No, I'm not. Years ago, there was I think it was a dad that had 2 girls with him, sorry. And he asked me that same question. He was like, are you related to Will? You look like Will. There was some times in the past where there's been people asking me if I was Chris Paddock's son, because I looked just like him. I had a little bit longer hair back then when Paddock it was like his rookie year, like 2019. There's been that. When I met Crony a few weeks ago, he's my favorite player, and there were a lot of people that said I look like his little brother. So it feels like I look like a lot of people. No, I'm not related to Will Myers. And it's Will with 1 L. Just trying to go through some comments here. Phillies up by 6 in the first inning. Time to start thinking wild card spot rather than talking about the World Series. Well, look, on paper, the Padres, when Tatis gets back, they still have a World Series contending team. Yeah, right now you got to worry about making the postseason. They have a 1.5 game lead, I believe, on that final wild card spot, and they play the Dodgers 11 more times, including tonight. So yeah, we're going to be focused on the wild card, but it's hard to only focus on the wild card when you see a lineup eventually that will be Tatis, Soto, Manny, Bell, Drury, Crony, Profar, and then you got Hader as your closer. When your ownership and your GM is going all in, it's hard to think, let's just make the playoffs, you know? I'm not saying it's a guarantee. Of course, make the playoffs, but I think it's hard for the fan base to say, no, let's just make the playoffs. Like, that's setting too low expectations based on the talent on this team, I think. Score prediction for tonight's game. I don't really do that, but since you asked, I'll go. And probably like 5-3 Padres. I'll say that. That's a random guess, just throwing it out there. I think it's like nearly impossible to shut out the Dodgers, I think. I think Clev will pitch well. I think the Padres lineup will show up tonight. So that's what I'll go with. And Johnny, I don't know if you're a Dodger fan. You say 9-1 Dodgers. I don't know if you're a Dodger fan or if you're just you don't believe in this Padres team, which I think is just stupid to think because it's just too early in this Soto era to just say I don't believe in this team. Just watching last night's game when they weren't at full strength, Manny was on the bench, not at third base. Manaea was pitching and didn't pitch well. Like I just don't think that's the. Okay, Johnny says he is a Dodger fan. Okay, well, this is a Padres show, so this is like prime example. Dodger fans saying they don't care about the Padres. Well, here you go. You do care about the Padres. It is a rivalry. So there you go. All right. I think that's going to do it. Again, my Padre pick today is Brandon Drury. First time I'll do that for him. Hopefully it's a bounce back today. Padres Dodgers 6:10 is the first pitch. This has been the August 6th pregame show. I'm Ben Fadden, your host. I encourage you to subscribe to this YouTube channel, Daily Padres Content. Support the channel by using the super chat button or the super thanks button. And then at Talking Friars on Twitter for the highlights during the game and also on Instagram and TikTok. All right. See you, everybody. Go Pods.